In this video we're going to talk about the 10-24 wide angle lens from Fujifilm. It is a Mark I version, very important to mention because there are two different versions on the market in the meantime, but today we're going to talk about the Mark I version, the old version. And I'm going to give you my honest opinion, what I think about it, what are my likes, what are my dislikes. Welcome back to the channel, guys. For every new face, for every returning face, I'm Florian. Good to have you here on the channel. And if you're a returning face or a new face, you might want to think about hitting a subscribe button. That would be much appreciated. It's not going to be a pixel peeping review about the 10-24, guys. However, I'm going to leave also some files in a Dropbox link in the comments if you're interested to get this lens, but it will be more for the focal length difference to see or give you a better understanding how wide 10mm up to 24mm is actually on an APS-C sensor. So let's dive into it, guys. My first two dislikes more or less about this lens is the aperture of f4. And yes, I say it in several videos, there's nothing wrong with the f4 lens. However, sometimes it would be just nice to have a little wider aperture of this lens or of this version. However, there are also downsides to this again, and the lens would be bigger, heavier and more pricey. So as in general, the f4 is not a big deal breaker. The 10-24 is intentionally meant to be for landscape or for architecture photography when you got your lens or camera on a tripod. However, I used it on a portrait shoot, I vlogged with it, I used the lens on a wedding shoot. I used it in so many different situations, and the f4 wasn't really a deal breaker, but it would have been nice to have a wider aperture sometimes. One other point I just don't like, or which I don't understand either, is when you film and you zoom with your lens, you change the exposure throughout the zooming process. So you start zooming up to from 10 to 24 and your image gets darker in between, and your exposure will be perfect again when you reach your focal length you want to set it to. I don't understand why, but keep this in mind, guys. So if you would film and you would zoom with this lens, that your exposure will change throughout the zooming process. Let's talk about a few things I actually like. So it's definitely the focal length of 10-24, which is roughly your 15 to 36mm equivalent full frame terms. The focal length is definitely fantastic. Even like I wanted a lens where I can show you a bit more when I'm out and about, or if I vlog I wanted to show you the surroundings or whatsoever. So having a focal length of 10-24 is definitely very handy. But also it got built-in OIS, so if you would vlog with the 10-24 on an X-T3 as an example, you got some sort of image stabilization. However, guys, be careful, as wider you set your lens, let's say you would vlog on an f12 for whatever reason, you might get a bit shaky corners, but this is purely down to your focal length and because it's a wide angle lens. And this lens wasn't really intentionally built to vlog. However, you can, and there's nothing wrong with it if you want to. Another nice thing with this lens is that the close focus distancing is very small. So basically it's around 10 inches or 24 centimeters, and you can easily go up very close to your subject. And as I used this lens on a wedding shoot, I was literally under the veil of a bride and took an image. So having a close focus distance of 24 centimeters or around 10 inches, it's definitely handy to have sometimes. Right now, if you wanted to take some flower shots or you wanted to do anything similar. So the current price for the 10-24 is around £690 on Amazon. I had to look through other photography retailer websites, but I couldn't find the 10-24 Mark I version still online, because there is a second version already on the market as well. The second version costs around £899. But I don't think you need to update this lens or upgrade this lens if you own the 10-24 already. The difference between the Mark I version and Mark II version is that you get the rubber ring, that it's weather resistant with the Mark II version, and you get the lock button basically for your auto aperture. And those two items or additions to the lens I don't think it's worth upgrading for if you own the 10-24 already. So my overall thoughts about the 10-24 Mark I version, I think it's a very well built lens. It's a lot of fun to use because you got this flexibility between 10-24 or 15-36. You can take portraits with, even zoom it out to 24mm, go nice and close to your subject, take a shot, and you will see you still get a decent blurred background as well. The few downsides to this lens, I don't think it's a really big deal breaker, and I don't think that you need to upgrade to the Mark II version if you own already the Mark I version. So with that said guys, I hope this little review was fun for you guys, you learned something, and perhaps you consider the 10-24 as well and you give it a go. And check out the images I'm gonna leave down in the comments just to see how wide 10mm actually can be or is if you never shot on a 10mm format. And with that said guys, like, comment and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you my friend very soon in another video. Cheers guys.